Hello friends, I am Dr. P. K. Paul. Welcome to my channel. Let's think about life differently and change it. So friends, the book I will read today is called The Magic of Thinking Big. Before starting today's video, I inform you that the link of other chapters of this book will be given at description. You can view them from there. So let's begin. Make your vision your partner. Can you understand the thoughts of others? It is very easy to have other people's thoughts. Maybe you didn't think about it this way, but you are trying to read other people's minds every day. Others are also trying to understand your thoughts. How does that happen? This happens automatically by understanding the perspective. Do you remember Bing Crosby's famous song, "You Don't Know the Language to Say You Are in Love," a few years ago? The simple language of that song hides the secrets of the soul. Love has no language. Anyone who has ever been in love knows this. Similarly, I like you very much, or I don't like you at all, or I think you are an important person, or I'm jealous of you, doesn't need language. It is not necessary to know or use language to express, "I like my own work," or "I am bored," or "I am hungry." It needs no words. Our thoughts are clearly captured in our actions, postures. Attitudes are mirrors of the mind. The reflection of thought is remarkable. Looking at the gentleman sitting at the desk, you can understand his mind. His attitude towards work is understood by his posture and behavior. Salesmen, students, husbands and wives, it is possible to understand the attitude of all, and only possible, you can understand why. Talented actors who remain popular and in demand in TV movies year after year are not really actors. They don't act, rather they forget their existence and start thinking about acting. They have to do it, there is no other way. Otherwise, they would have become believable characters on the silver screen. Can't, their popularity will decrease. The honey of the pot. Posture is not only visible, but also heard. When a secretary says, "Good morning," from Mr. Sumika's office, he's not just identifying that office, he's saying, "I'm glad to talk to you. I like you, you are an important person, I love my job." But another secretary says the same thing, but it seems, "Dur chai, burned and killed. Why did you call? My work is very annoying and you are more annoying." By listening to facial expression, voice and tone, the mood is easily revealed. Because the discovery of speech and spoken language is a recent phenomenon in the long history of human beings. So recent that if you look at the giant clock of time, it would say that language was invented this morning. Prior to that, for thousands of years man had only expressed his feelings through gestures, facial expressions, moans, growls or pent-up anger. So for thousands of years, people have been part and parcel with each other. He talked to things with my own sounds, not words. Still in the same way I express my own attitude, addiction to others. Apart from direct, physical touch, body language, facial expressions, we talk to the baby through the voice. Even small children quickly learn those gestures. Professor Moen H. Skell, an eminent American figure on leadership, said, "In addition to advantage and ability, another thing plays an important role in achievement." Another supporting word for this other thing, this catalyst, is attitude. If we have the right attitude, our shortcomings become most productive, the benefits are inevitable, either. There is a really big change in attitude. With right attitude, salesman can sell more than the prescribed level. A person with right attitude gets best marks, married life becomes happy if attitude is right. A rocky attitude allows you to treat others right, so you can lead effectively. Right behavior, right attitude helps you in all situations. L. Develop these three types of attitudes and attitudes. 1. Have a, you are active, attitude. 2. You, have the attitude of, person of importance. 3. Have a, work first, attitude. How to do it, I say. Many years ago, when I was a sophomore in college, I took an American history class. I still remember the class vividly, not that I wanted to know much about American history. The reason is that, strangely enough, I learned at that time. I learned the principle of success, that is, to make others active and active, you must first become active yourself. The history class was fan-sized, a huge hall of. There was class. Our professor was a middle-aged, seemingly well-educated gentleman, but the man was a very dull, drab type. Instead of presenting history as a thrilling affair, this professor merely presented one fact after another. It was amazing how he made such a fun topic so incredibly pointless. But he did. Intriguing. Surely you can understand the effect of such a useless professor on the students. Sleep and good stories, these two things were beyond measure, and the professor's two assistants roamed the hall to get rid of these things. Their job was to stop the chatter of the students and wake them up. Occasionally, however, this professor raised his fingers and threatened with angry eyes, "Careful, it will not be good if you don't listen to me. Stop talking." However, this would not have been of much benefit, as several Janu students were already writing history themselves. Watching the thrilling history reading turn into a harrowing experience, I often thought, why are the students so dismissive of the professor? Answer found. The real reason for the students' lack of enthusiasm was the professor's own lack of enthusiasm. He himself became bored with history. Whose people were studying in the class? So get motivated by getting others motivated. I have tested this principle in many ways over the years. It is true, he who lacks enthusiasm in himself, will be able to instill enthusiasm in the hearts of others when he wins. No, however, one is encouraged. And enthusiastic salesmen never have to worry about reluctant buyers. An interested, motivated teacher does not worry about unmotivated students. An active, enthusiastic pastor does not have to worry about a nearly asleep audience. 1100% more successful and efficient if you have enthusiasm. Up until 2 years ago, a colleague who worked at a business I knew donated $94.35. This year the employees have donated around 11,100, that is, 1,100% more, without any salary increase. The captain, who collected $94.35 in donations, showed no signs of encouragement. His comment was something like, "The establishment looks good, they have never been contacted directly, their organization is huge, they collect a lot of money from the rich, so your donation is not that important, contact us if you want to donate." The gentleman did not inspire anyone to donate heavily to the Red Cross. The captain of this expedition was a little different. This very enthusiastic gentleman gave various examples from history to explain how the red fruit helps those in danger. He explained that the Red Cross depends on everyone's donations. He asked each worker how much financial assistance they would give if they were so endangered. He said, "Look at the work of the Red Army." Notice, he didn't beg for mercy. Nor does it say that everyone has to pay something mandatory. Me only showed enthusiasm for the necessity of Red Cross, followed him. Naturally, any fast-paced club or social. Think about it. Perhaps inspiration will arise. And if they are encouraged, they are again a lively organization. The more enthusiasm you express, the more benefits you will get. Enthusiasm means great. Why? Say 3 ways to increase enthusiasm. 1. Study deeply. Take a test. Choose activities that you have almost no interest in, such as 31 sports, music or sports in particular. Now ask yourself, how aware am I of these things? Probably 1 in 100 people will say, I don't know anything special. Needless to say, for years I had no interest in modern painting. To me they were just a bunch of squiggly lines. I asked a friend who is a connoisseur and admirer of modern art to explain the paintings. Now I learned to understand by looking at drawings. Got curious about that. Thus I found an important way to become motivated. Study the subject to get motivated in a subject you have no interest in. Perhaps you are not interested in bees at all. Study these bees, their needs, their relationships with other bees, breeding and winter shelter. You can collect all kinds of information about bees. You will find yourself interested in bees. I sometimes use the greenhouse analogy when teaching students to develop interest in deep study methods. Knowingly, most commonly asked team members, are any of you interested in building and selling greenhouses? No one agreed to this proposal till Vaj. Then I talk about the greenhouse. I begin to explain to the group that with the increase in life and the change in lifestyle, people have become unduly interested. Nowadays the kid wants to build an orange grove. I tell them if the ideal is where a few thousand people own a private swimming pool, a few 100,000 people can easily build a greenhouse that costs less than a swimming pool. I convince them that if they can sell even one out of $5,600 greenhouses, they can build a $600 million business building greenhouses and a $50 million industry supplying related plants and seeds. The only problem with this example is that the group that showed no interest in the greenhouse after 10 minutes became so excited that it became difficult to discuss the next topic in the curriculum. Try deep meditation techniques to inspire enthusiasm about others. Find out as much information about him as you can, what he does, his family, background, thoughts, aspirations. Your enthusiasm grows. Deep consideration and study. You will see, of course, if you find a match in your mind with him, you will find an interesting personality in him. But is also about new environment, new place, will get. Incentives apply. Several years ago some friends of mine decided to relocate to a small town in Detroit, Florida. After selling their goods, closing their businesses and saying goodbye to their friends, they left. I'll see them back in Detroit in 2 weeks. This return to work had nothing to do with it. Rather, in their words, it wasn't fun being young. Besides, all the friends and family are in Detroit. I'm back. After talking with them, I found out why they didn't settle in the small town of Florida. During the time they were there, they only saw the outside, the history, the future plans, the law. Even when they went to Florida, they were still in Detroit. I've talked to dozens of executives, engineers, and salesmen whose careers have been disrupted by disagreements over company relocations. I've heard comments like, I can't imagine living in Chicago, or San Francisco, or at least New York or Miami. A way to familiarize yourself with the new place and find out about the new environment, the new society. Collect as much information as possible. Interact with the people there. Consider yourself a part of that community from day one. In this way you will become aware and interested in your river environment. Today thousands of Americans are investing in corporate securities. However, there are many people who have no interest in the stock market. Because this second group of people is particular about the security market activities, the exciting business world of America out there. Don't know anything, study Lata deeply to become interested in people, places, things. Looking deeper will boost your enthusiasm. After that the sim will now be reluctant to do any work. Try this principle. If you look deeply, you will surely become enthusiastic. All these things require interest, enthusiasm. All your actions and words reveal courage or the lack of it. When shaking hands, lean forward and shake hands vigorously. As if your touch says, I am glad I am not delirious with you. I am glad to meet you again. Better no handshake at all than a half-hearted handshake. Thus, touching the keys of the arrest seems to say, is the man alive? You will never see a successful man shaking hands like this. Bring your smile to life. Not only the face, not even the eyes, as if smiling. Nobody likes a toothy smile. When you smile, smile with heart. Open your heart and smile. Maybe your teeth aren't that attractive, but it is not important. People will see your smile, not your teeth. In their eyes it's a lively, attractive, enthusiastic person. They will like that lively person. Thank you. Should have the pulse of life. Routine. Machine dogmatism is meaningless. It's just a pose, so that no results available. Let your thank you become a genuine thank you. Make your speech come alive. Dr. James F. Bender, in his excellent book How to Talk Well, New Year, Max Hill Book County 1949, says, is your good morning strong enough? Is your manner of greeting full of enthusiasm? Is how are you a genuine polite question? When be yourself, you can bring genuine, authentic feelings to words. You will see that you have attracted everyone's attention. Balaj is really inspired. Those who have complete confidence in their own words, those who wholeheartedly believe in their own words, are believed by all. May your words resonate with life. Make your words come alive. When you are giving a speech, when you are talking to a potential customer, or when you are talking to your child, you want your words to have soul. A sermon preached with encouragement is etched in the mind, for months or even years. But the monotonous, lifeless sermon was soon erased from the mother. And, if you speak encouragingly, you'll almost be contagious. Try it now. Emphasize encouragement. Feels good today. Now tell me if you really feel better. Cheer yourself up. Wake up, let all your actions, all your words clearly say, I am alive. Let others feel, the man is truly mind-blowing, this man is influential. 3. Tell the good news. You, me, we all get such a situation. Someone somewhere might have come up and said, great news. Immediately the messenger had 100% of everyone's attention. Good news not only attracts attention, everyone is happy to hear the paper. Everyone was encouraged to hear the good news. It even improves digestion once. But there are more bearers of bad news than bearers of good news. Don't get me wrong, no one has been able to get money or special achievements to make Ratan Budhu by hearing bad or sad news. Tell your family the good news. Tell them today's news. Tell everyone the funny thing that happened today. It's pointless to say sad, bad news. This increases the anxiety of the people in the house. They become afraid. Show new hope to your family every day. Ever notice how little kids complain about the weather? They bear the extreme heat with pleasure, until despondent thoughts make them aware of the intolerable weather. Whatever the weather outside, always say good things about it. By complaining about the weather, you will increase the annoyance and dissatisfaction of not only you but everyone. Just tell him how you feel. Always be engrossed in joy. Say, I feel so good, whenever you get a chance, and you'll find your heart filled with real joy. But if you're constantly telling everyone, I feel bad, I don't like it, your frustration and discomfort will increase. You'll lose focus on how we want to feel. We are our feelings. And so on. Keep in mind that others also want the company of lively, enthusiastic people. Living with people who complain, who die and live is a mixed feeling. Share the good news with colleagues at work. Encourage them, praise their work when you get a chance. Inform about the company's hiring activities. Listen to their problems and try to solve them. Gather support by encouraging them. Encourage them in their work, praise them and light the light of hope in their hearts. Reassure them that they will succeed, that you have complete confidence in them. Practice the elimination of evil. Do this test regularly to keep yourself on track. Whenever you say goodbye to someone, ask yourself, is he happy and encouraged to talk to me? This method of self-control training can be very effective. Try this method with employees, friends and family, customers, and even small acquaintances. A salesman friend of mine is always the bearer of good news, every month who calls his customers at least one good news. Example, it's met your friend. Greetings. It's a big deal since you came here. 350,000 Shiites were born last month. So more business opportunities for you, self. A bank president usually refers to a serious, empathetic personality who is not at all gregarious. A bank president is a completely different person. When you call him, you hear his sweet greeting, good morning. Today is a good day. Can I sell you some money? How? Inappropriate language for a banker. Many would say so. Let me tell you, the banker who uttered those words is Mills Lane Jr., president of Citizens and Southern Bank, the largest bank in the entire Southeast. You will get benefits if you give good news. So tell the good news. Recently the president of a brush manufacturing company had this quote framed in his living room, facing the guest chair, if you have something nice to say it or not. I congratulated him. That quote has the power to make people hopeful. It's an effective way of reminding people. Especially for me, it's very important, he said with a laugh. Turning the frame, he drew my attention to the writing on his side, which read, if you have a good word to say, I'll say it or not. Good news makes people active. The mind becomes full of happiness. Good news makes others happy too. Develop a you matter attitude. This is a very important fact. Every man, whether he lives in India or in Indianapolis, whether he is stupid or intelligent, civilized or uncivilized, young or old, all want to feel important. Think about it, everyone, your neighbor, your wife, your boss, all have a strong and natural desire to think of themselves as someone. The second strongest desire after organic hunger is probably the intense feeling of being important. Successful advertisers are well aware of the importance of reputation and recognition. Advertisements that boost sales go something like this: for the smart, young, homely woman, whose choices are the best. The best for you, rise everyone, woman who is the envy of other women and the envy of men who use to rise for them. These headlines actually mean, buying this product will make you important. Be jealous. This desire, this strong desire to be important, can make you successful. This is a key to success. Even so, read this line again, even though the benefits of having a you matter attitude are show, it is not worth the cost. Yet very few people use it. Why ask? If you consider it philosophically, you will see that our religion, law, society, culture depends on the importance of individual. For example, you are piloting your plane, maybe you are forced to land the plane in a secluded mountain area. Report this accident. A large-scale search for you has begun. No one will raise the question, is the gentleman an important figure? A man, that is, a man's life to be saved, without knowing anything else. Helicopters, other aircraft, infantry searchers will go out looking for you, at great expense, until you are found. All hope of power turns to despair, until you are sought. When a small child gets lost in the woods or falls into a well or suffers some other accident, no one thinks how powerful the child's family is. Every child is a precious resource. So due efforts are made to save that child. A value of perhaps 10 million in all living organisms. Humans are a rare phenomenon in biology. It has a special significance in God's created world. Now let's come to the real world. But the special significance is often forgotten when people leave philosophical discussions and talk about everyday life. Tomorrow you will notice how many people will have the attitude of, you are worthless, you are worthless, you are worthless, you are insignificant to me. And that's why the, you're worthless, attitude is everywhere. Most people look at others and say, it can't do anything for me. So it's meaningless, worthless. But that's where they make a mistake. Regardless of the other person's rank or income, they are an important figure to you for two main reasons. First, if you care about a person, they will work harder for you. Years ago, when I lived in Detroit, I took a specific bus to work every morning. The driver was a grumpy old man. There have been dozens of maybe several nights where passengers have shouted, waved and run to get the driver's attention, but the driver has quietly driven the bus away. After observing for a few months, I saw a passenger who gave special respect to the driver. Saw the driver waiting for that passenger more than once. Why? Because that passenger gave due respect to the driver. Every morning he especially said, "Good morning," to that driver. Sometimes sitting in the driver's seat would tell the story of how urgent you are allowed to be, driving through so much traffic every day. It's easy to take, you go right by the clock, sir. The passenger spoke as if the bus driver was the pilot of a 180-passenger jet plane. So the driver also treated him with special courtesy. Paying attention to little, ordinary, people will pay off. Now, the sales profit or loss of salesmen in thousands of offices in America depends on the behavior and attitude of the secretaries of those offices. If you can make a man feel important, he will notice you, reflect on your strengths and weaknesses. And, if he pays attention to you, if he cares for you, he will do more for you. Customers will buy more from you, employees for you. Work harder, partners eager to work with you, will rise, and if you can make them feel important, your content will help you. Giving importance to big people will make them bigger. These large-scale people easily recognize the best qualities in others, amplifying those qualities. Emphasis also gets the best out of yourself. Another great reason to care about others is that caring about others makes you feel important. For several months I had been watching one of our elevator operators, a very ordinary, plain-looking, impassive woman in her 50s who seemed to have never been of any importance to anyone. He is like those thousands of people who are alive but nobody acknowledges their existence, ignores them completely. I regularly go up and down the elevator. One day I saw a woman with a new hair tie. Nothing special, just a normal job but a different, and better looking one. So I said to her, "Miss S. Note, I knew her name right away. Your new outfit suits you very well. Unprepared, he said, "Thank you, sir," not knowing what to do out of shame. But that compliment left a mark on his mind. Getting in the elevator the next morning, I was surprised to hear him say, "Good morning, Dr. Schwartz." I have never heard him greet anyone by name. I have not addressed anyone by name for the few months I have been in that office. As I valued him, he valued me in return. It is not a matter of neglect that one who does not realize his own importance can never rise above the ordinary and become extraordinary. Again, it is very important to realize your own importance to be successful. You will benefit by helping others feel important, realizing your own importance. Give it a try. I am telling you how to do it. Learn to appreciate others. When someone does something for you, be sure to thank them for their contribution. Don't belittle or ignore people. Smile. Express genuine gratitude. Power is recognized in hasi. Due importance is given to him. Ambivalence towards either is revealed. State how dependent you are on others. Authentic. Jim, what would have happened to me without you? People realize their importance and do well when they realize it. When you give praise, it should be genuine praise. Either aimed at one in particular. Everyone loves praise. 2 years or 20 years, or 9 years or 90 years, people of any age want to hear praise. He wants to be reassured that he has done well, that he has special needs. It is not something that can only be admired in great achievements. Appreciate the little things: appearance, well-rounded routine, doing things, thinking people, dedication and effort. Anything can be appreciated. Congratulate your acquaintances by personally noting their achievements. Especially call or visit them. Don't waste time classifying people as very important people, or generally overlooked. There should be no exceptions. Everyone is important to you, whether it's the CEO or the vice president of the company. You're never the first to look down on someone. Can't become a class person. 2. Practice calling people by name. Everyday savvy manufacturers sell more and more briefcases, notebooks, pencils, Bibles and other items by listing customers on the product. Calling by name makes everyone happy, gets new enthusiasm. Pay special attention to 2 things. Pronounce the name correctly and say it clearly. Pronouncing the wrong name will make the other person think that you are not paying attention to them. Let me remind you of another special thing. Those who are not familiar with them must be addressed as Mr. Miss or Mrs. before their name. Will do. A peon who works in an office will prefer to be addressed as Mr. Jones rather than Jones. Every level of yourself loves it. In these small things, the importance of others increases to a great extent. 3. Don't take all the praise, share it with others. Recently I was a guest at a day-long sales conference. After dinner in the evening, the vice president in charge of the sales department of the company, 2 district managers awarded a lady and a gentleman. They sold more this year than last year. The vice president then asked the 2 district managers to explain how they had done the extraordinary work, for which each of them was given 15 minutes. The first district manager, later I heard he had been nominated only 3 months earlier and had only partial involvement in his organization's achievement, got up and told everyone how he had sold such a record. This gentleman's words seemed to have increased sales with a single effort. After I took over, I did this, I did that, the whole thing was an awkward mess, I fixed everything. What trouble? I didn't give up despite that, was the subject of his speech. I could see the displeasure on the faces of the salesmen on his team as this gentleman was making his presentation. The district manager, being preoccupied with self-aggrandizement, completely ignored their contribution. The real reason for the increase in sales, their hard work, was ignored. Then, the second district manager got up, saying only a few words in his speech. This lady's speech is completely opposite. Was first, he said that the entire credit for the success of his company goes to its dedicated employees. He then asked each of them to stand up and congratulated each employee individually. The difference is striking. The first manager took full credit for the vice president's praise, and the workforce became more motivated, more efficient, as his colleagues angrily blamed him. The second realized that appreciation investing is just as profitable as investing money. He knew if he gave his colleagues full credit they would be tougher the next year, will work hard. Remember, there is power in praise. Invest it in the right place. If your superiors appreciate it, praise subordinates, it will make them do better. Sharing praise will let subordinates know that you are giving them the importance they deserve. Try a daily practice, you will get the benefits. Ask yourself daily, what can I do today to make my wife and family happy? It may sound simplistic, but very rewarding. One evening in a sales training session I was discussing creating the right environment at home for success. To make a point, I asked the salesmen, all of them married, when do you give your wife special gifts other than festivals, wedding anniversaries, her birthday? I was also shocked to hear the answer. Only 1 in 2 dozen had bought his wife a special gift in the past month. Many said, 3 or 4 years ago, and more than a third said, I think. Not reading. Think about it. Even after that, many expect special treatment from the wife, intimate use. I wanted to convince those salesmen about the importance of well-thought-out gifts. I took a florist with me before the next day's session ended. Talk to him and say, I will give you a small example of a change in the environment of the home. You will all be surprised by the incredible response. I request you to buy each of you from this florist a very beautiful red rose for 50 cents. If any of you have 50, if you don't have a cent or don't think your wife deserves a 50-cent rose, everyone laughed a lot. I'm buying the flower myself. Go home and give it to your wife today. Give me feedback tomorrow. Of course you can't tell whose imagination this idea is. Everyone understood. There was not a single exception. The next day each said just 50 cents put a smile on each of their wives' faces. Do something special for the family every once in a while. It doesn't have to be a huge expense. But do something that touches the heart. Something that will prioritize your family the most. Get family on your team. Give them due importance. In this busy age many do not have time for family. But it can be done if it goes according to plan. A vice president of a company reported that this method has been very effective for him. I have a lot of responsibilities in my work, so I have to bring home a lot every day. But my family is the most important thing for me, so there is no question of neglecting my family. That's why I work so hard. I have made a schedule so that family and work have enough time and can be given importance. Every evening from 8 to 30 p.m. Playing with them, reading stories, answering questions. They are happy after spending hours with them. It's hard to feel 100% fresh by 8 to 30 and I work for 2 hours when they go to bed. After work at 10 to 30 at night, we discuss with my wife for an hour about our child, her various suggestions, our future plans. This one time without any interruption is very sweet. Sunday is also just for the family. The whole day is spent in their meditation. I have seen the attention given to my family in this Chakka program. I also get new inspiration. Want to make money? So have a work first attitude. Making money and accumulating wealth is a very natural human trait, even desirable. Money is what can give your family the lifestyle they deserve. Wealth can help the unfortunate. Money is the way to enjoy life to the fullest. Russell, the famous author of Acres of Diamonds, was accused of conjuring up the public. He replied, "Your Bible by means of money. Whose money is the church built on? Whose money sends your missionaries everywhere? Whose money pays your advisors?" Someone who says poverty is happiness probably suffers from guilt or has a sense of inadequacy in life. They're a lot like the kid who doesn't get an A, cheats, or makes the football team, so he convinces himself that he never wanted to get an A or play football. So money is definitely a desired object. Surprisingly, Anak's attitude towards money is very old-fashioned. People everywhere prefer money. There is meaning in all these people. Why? Reason. Those who give money here become so conscious of money that they forget that the money tree is not the fruit of the seed. And the work is the seed. And that's why so much attitude of service first becomes the cause of wealth growth. If work is given importance and priority, money will surely come. Driving through Cincinnati one summer evening, I entered a very ordinary but very busy service station to fill up the petrol. 4 minutes later I realized why the service station was so popular. After filling my car with oil, checking the roof, wiping the windshield, the attendant came to my car and said, "Excuse me, it's very dusty today. The inside of your windshield. Let me clear it up, sir." 3. He did such a perfect job that you will get the inside of my car's windshield cleaned quickly and beautifully at 1,000 service stations. This little but special treat made my night driving so much easier. 8 times a month I couldn't easily forget that station. I went to the station every time for the next 3 times. And every time I received unexpected help. What surprised me more is that every time I went there, once at 4 a.m., I saw many more cars coming to fill up. I probably bought a total of 100 gallons of oil from that station. The first time I went to that station and parked the car, the attendant could have thought, "This gentleman is not a resident of this place. Maybe will not come back here. What is the need to do anything other than routine tasks? This is a one-time customer." But the service station attendant didn't think like that. All of them prioritized work, so when the rest of the stations were deserted they were busy filling up the fuel. I can't say for sure if their oil was better than the dozen or so other brands, but their oil prices were competitive. The difference was in the work. Their good work attitude was the reason for their profit growth. The first time the attendant there cleaned the inside of my car's windshield, he buried a money tree. Prioritize work, money is bound to follow you. Not all situations benefit from a work-dominated attitude. Early in my working life I once had a car with another young man, here I name him FH. FH was like many people you know, totally. It had a thought in its mind that it needed a lot of money. However, he does not agree to bother about how to enlarge it. Instead of working during the company's working hours, FH spent hours each week dealing with his own personal budget problems. His favorite topic of discussion was, "I am the least. Salary is paid, why? Listen to me." FH had the familiar attitude of, "It's such a big company, making millions. So many people are getting paid big money, they should be getting more." FH was completely ignored a few times during salary increments for me too. Finally one day he decided, enough is enough, now he will apply for a salary increase himself. For this noble purpose he went to meet the superiors. After about 30 minutes an angry FH returned. It was clear from the shape of her fingernails that there would be no change in next month's salary. As soon as we met, FH burst into anger. How strange. Do you know what, old man, means when I talk about a raise? You're so rude, asking me why you think you should get a raise. Many reasons, FH said. I said everyone else got a raise, but I didn't. I said that my uncle's expenses have increased, but there is income, and I said, I do not say no to anything that I am asked to do. You can imagine, I need money, but without increasing my salary, they are increasing the salary of people who need much less than me. And, what used? FH kept saying, I am begging for mercy. Only when we see your record and know what you should be getting, we'll give you a raise. Shish. I'd do a better job if I had more money. No fool would do that without pay. FH, that class of people don't want to know anything about the way to earn money. He realized his mistake when he heard his last sentence. If the company increases the base, you cannot increase your salary by promising better work, but if you show good work, then the salary will increase. If you don't sow the seed, the money tree will not grow. And that seed is work and service. Don't go hey. Prioritize work, money will follow. You don't have to follow the meaning. Think about which film producer in the world of cinema is more profitable as the soon-to-be big man. A second-rate storyteller muster a bad script and develop a story. Actors choose set placement, even when recording sound, the meaning prevails. This producer thinks moviegoers are stupid and will watch whatever they see. However, this producer who is interested in becoming a big man quickly cannot become a big man quickly. No one wants to buy a second-class product at a first-class price. The producer who profits the most from the movie Sally prefers entertainment. Instead of tricking the audience, he pulls. Guna brings opportunities for enjoying unexpected pleasures. Result: everyone is happy watching the movie. It is discussed everywhere. So, if you prioritize service or work, money will come to you. A waiter who is eager to provide the best service doesn't have to worry about tips, he gets them by himself. But his partner doesn't even want to see the ink in the coffee cup. What's the need for coffee again? They won't give tips, he never gets a tip. A secretary who writes an unexpectedly beautiful letter for her boss is bound to get a pay rise in the future. But the secretary who thinks to himself, what will happen with a little stain? How can you expect a better job at $65 a week? He will be stuck with the $65 salary that week. A salesman who devotes full attention to an account. He has no fear of losing that account by working. A simple yet powerful rule of thumb for developing a work-first attitude is, give people unexpected good service, knowledge. Giving a little extra service means sowing the seeds of money. Equals working long hours, bringing the department out of danger means sowing the seeds of money. Giving some extra service to the customer means the seeds of money, Reena, because that customer will come back to you again and again. Cultivating new intelligence, ideas to increase efficiency means sowing the seeds of meaning. And money will grow from the seed of money. Sow seeds of service, cultivate money. Every day, take a moment to answer the question, how can I deliver more than what is expected of me? Then apply that answer. Prioritize service, money will follow you. To summarize the words again, such an attitude. It will take you further on the path of success. Develop which? 1. Develop an I'm active attitude. The more enthusiasm you show, the better results you will get. 3 ways to activate yourself. A. Think more deeply. Any matter if you feel like it, learn more about it. Usha. Get your motivation back, discouraging. Be in all your actions. Smile, shake hands, talk, walk, breathe new life into everything. Use lively, active. C. Give good news. No one has become very successful in life by spreading bad news. 2. Develop a you matter attitude. If others matter, they will work harder for you. Remember to A. Give praise at every opportunity. Give importance to others. B. Call everyone by name. 3. Cultivate a work first attitude and the money will follow. Make a rule, do more than what others expect.